Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm bringing you guys my week 1 NFL predictions. I know this is a little different from what we normally do, but we're going to get right into it. Only reason why I'm doing this live is because, why not? I feel like it's easier than just cropping everything down. Plus, it's all real-time reactions to everything. So as you guys can see, we already have our winners and scores on this left side of the screen, and all the games on the right. I did actually think the Rams were going to win. I know we didn't make a video off that, so I'm already giving myself an 0-1 record. Didn't really look into it. A lot of these games, I'll be honest, guys, don't really care about. So it's kind of more just like a quick reaction to a lot of them. But we're going to go right down the list. I have my little cheat sheet here of the other games and predictions and stuff like that. So we're going to start with, obviously, week 1. Bears versus 49ers. I don't even think this is going to be really an interesting game. I think it's going to be like, there's going to be a lot of takeaways from this game between like Trey Lance and what's his name, the guy from the Bears. Man, that's how important this guy is. Can't even remember his name. But between the two quarterbacks, they literally, I don't know. I don't even think this game is going to be like that competitive. I think it's going to be like a 21-14 game. There's going to be a lot of takeaways just between like if Bears going to offensive line's going to hold up, if Trey Lance is even going to be the person, which I think just the 49ers offense in general is capable of pushing in 21 points. But I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes in this game. I don't think this is going to be a crazy thing. Also, good morning, everybody. We aren't going to really be looking at chat that much when we do the, I guess, reaction to every game. Probably on Tuesday, we'll probably do a recap between everything and kind of break down some games. But with our predictions, we're probably not going to look too much into the chat, just so you guys know. So yeah, I think 21-14 game. I think that's a pretty solid just number for that kind of win for the 49ers. Next is Steelers versus Bengals. Another game that I don't really see the Steelers offense putting in too many points. I think their defense might do pretty well, but Bengals offense is also better than what the Steelers are putting up. At least from previous senses, you know, like I mean, things could totally change, and Trubisky could be like this top tier player. I don't know. But until we actually see that in the regular season against starter versus starters, you can't really say Trubisky is the guy yet. But Bengals, we already kind of know what they can produce. I think they might be a little rusty. That's why I think this game could possibly be up in the 40s for them if they just completely start blowing them out. But I think 27-14, pretty solid. I think Steelers might get like a late garbage touchdown or something like that. Next is Browns versus Panthers, another game that I think is going to be overhyped. Like, I think it's obviously hyped right now because Baker Mayfield's facing former team, obviously NFL with that money grab. But I don't think it's going to be like a blowout or anything like that. I think it's going to be a very steady game, 20-14. I think Panthers going to win. Being a Saints fan, I'm actually like, I'm not like a huge Baker Mayfield fan, but also like I also think he's pretty good. Like, I'm not like, oh man, this is like Tom Brady. Like, I'm like fearful every time this guy gets on the field. But I also don't think like knowing that he's in our division, it also doesn't like, it's not like, oh man, at least we're facing like Sam Darnold or something like that. Like, he's an actual competitor. I think this game there's gonna be a lot of rust. McCaffrey's coming back, which I think they said like he like hurt something or like he got like cut or something in practice. But I think that he's still good to go. So I think it's gonna be a lot of warming up for a lot, even the Browns in the beginning, like with Jacoby Brissett. I think there's gonna be a lot of questions for both teams of how they're gonna operate this season. Given why it's a 20-14 game. I think it's gonna be close, just because I think mostly because I don't think either team's gonna be that good this year anyway, and capable of putting up that many points. I think they're gonna be very defensively dominant, and I think Brown's going to control most of the time of possession of this game because I think they're going to focus more on the run. Going down to the next game, my big game, Saints versus Falcons. Obviously, I'm taking Saints, but not only because I am a fan of the Saints, big fan of the Saints, I should say, but I also think Falcons are gonna be like literally like garbage birds this year. I don't think there's. I mean, I think they're gonna, just because it's the Falcons, they have Kyle Pitts. I think they're capable of putting up some big time touchdowns, especially like deep down over the middle or something like that, like on like cover 2. I feel like they can burn at least like, one touchdown a game for sure by doing that. Like I think it's always against the Saints that somehow just a deep touchdown happens against them with the Falcons. So it's all, they automatically get a touchdown from that. But I think the defense is going to be the worry for the Falcons. Saints, on the other hand, I have big hopes for the Saints. Like, I feel like I'm the only one that, like, whenever I talk with somebody about, like, football or whatever, like, I feel like, I'm going to turn this off really quick. I feel like not a lot of people are looking at the Saints. And obviously for good reason. Jameis is coming back. Michael Thomas is still battling ankle injury for how many years now. Very disappointing in that, but if everyone comes back and is to themselves, this could be a really good team, and I mean like Super Bowl caliber kind of team. Now obviously Dennis Allen, no, wait, you know what, I'm gonna turn, where is this, what is, that's that, there we go, we're gonna turn that down. I had something in the background of the stream there. Like I said, totally new to all this. But yeah, I think Saints are going to take this 31-21. Obviously, it's a divisional game, so it's all Saints Falcons is always somehow closer than it really should be. But I think Saints can pull this one out in a pretty, 10-point lead. I think is a little bit more than what people might say. Could come down closer to that, but I think Saints defense especially might create some big turnovers for them. Next, Eagles versus Lions. I'm not all on the Eagles yet. I think this game is another one that's just going to be one that you can kind of really see what they're about. Now, this game could very well be like a 35-0 game because you have no idea what the Lions are going to be, and really no one knows what the Eagles are yet. Like, we've seen it before where teams had pieces together. Like, it's like, how don't you go undefeated and win it all? And instead they're like middle of the pack at best because all these pieces, they don't fit properly. We've seen it before with a lot of teams, really. And Eagles could be very well the same, and it could just be coming down to the coach or their quarterback. Like Jalen Hurts, yes, he's good at running and he's okay at throwing, I would say. But I wouldn't really say that he's this elite quarterback. I know he did like all these workouts and stuff, and he looks jacked now and everything like that. But I think, I don't know. Like I said, this game could be completely wrong, and I'm still taking the Eagles, 24-21. But I think the Lions, I think they come out fighting. I think they start off right, biting some kneecaps, and while they get back up, they bite their ankles. You know how it goes. The Lion mentality. They start eating people, but they do still lose, and I think maybe even in overtime possibly. But next is Colts versus Texans. I got Colts winning 21-7. I think Matt Ryan just kind of lights a little fire in the Colts. I think their offense starts pretty good, and I think, just like in Super Bowls, Matt Ryan dies down at the end of the half. And then, so I think it's like a 21 or possibly 14-0 game at like the half. And then I think it's more so just them controlling the game. I don't see Texans as a dominant team or anything like that, but neither do I really see the Colts, honestly, just because of Matt Ryan. Now, not saying anything, he did go to the Super Bowl, everything like that, but ever since then, it always just seems like, something's caught in his throat a little bit. He might be choking on something, you know how it goes. But I think 21-7 is a accurate score. Texans, I don't even know what they are. NFL delete them from existence. Next game, Patriots versus Dolphins. This is a game that I think could go almost either way. I think like a 31-21 is a respectable one, mainly because I think Dolphins are going to be getting into the red zone a lot because of big time plays, because they have those kind of receivers and stuff. But I'm not sure if they're going to be that good getting into the end zone. So they might bomb a huge play, catch it, down at the 10, and then they get stuck, kick a field goal. So that's why I kind of coming up with 30. Patriots, I think, are another team that, it's kind of weird to say Patriots aren't like this dominant team anymore. But they're still in games. It's kind of weird. But like, I'm kind of glad that it's not like, oh, Patriots gonna win, Patriots gonna win, Patriots gonna win the Super Bowl, all this stuff. But like I said, this game could obviously be completely backwards, and Dolphins, just like I was talking about with the Eagles, they have the pieces to be really good, but are they gonna work? It's like the bridge looks good, but as soon as something stands on the bridge, the whole thing collapses. Sometimes that's just how it goes. But so I think this is another game that we can really see how things are going to operate. Are Patriots just going to run the football? Do they trust Mac Jones? Week 1 is a huge what's going on with your team kind of situations. But I think Dolphins going to take this 30-21. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive game. We'll see what Tua's got in his little back pocket there. Well, I guess there's no pockets in football pants. So we'll see what he's got underneath those shoulder pads. All right. We'll head down to the Ravens versus Jets. Lamar Jackson said, "Nah, I don't want my contract because y'all stink, little Raven birds." But yeah, I think he's still going to come out and just crush it. 35-10. Jets, another team that's completely dumpster fire. Join the Texans in the bottom of the barrel. Like I don't even know what have the Jets been doing all these years? Like, they can't find a quarterback, they can't find receivers, like they can't find anyone. Like, literally everything they do is wrong. Like, I don't even know what they're doing at this point. So yeah, they take a big L here. I think this is the biggest blowout I think I have in the whole week 1, and of course Ravens do it to them. Next is Jaguars versus Commanders, another game that I really don't care about, but Commanders, I feel like, could be a team that's just, and I think they always have been, even like when they were like the football team, and I don't even know if you're allowed to say the other team they were called, so I'm not even gonna chance that. But in their past, I felt like they were always a team that randomly was good, especially when they had RG3. I feel like they were always a team that competed with people. They would maybe make the playoffs randomly. I think they're still around that team where they'll keep people in the game, but also somehow win it. But against the Jaguars, another game that you gotta see where what's his name, freaking Goldilocks and the 3 Jaguars, see how they're gonna be doing. But I still think it's just gonna be another game that's not really interesting. I don't think, unless you're a fan of these two teams, you're probably not going to watch it, because who really cares? I don't think either team's making the playoffs, so why does this even matter? A 17-10 game. Well, I should say, for Commanders' sake, you are in the NFC East, so one game could win you the division. You never know. 17-10 in that game. Next is Chiefs versus Cardinals. Game that I think can open a lot of eyes. I'm curious to see how the Chiefs are going to do. Obviously, they still have Kelsey. They still have Mahomes. But they did lose a lot of pieces. So, I don't know. I don't really see them as good. I think I'm a big believer in the reason why this quarterback is really good is because the receiver group, or because like a running back, some other piece is making this player that next level. And I think Tyreek Hill was that to Mahomes. Mahomes, incredible arm strength. Yes, he's really accurate as well, but I'd say Mahomes is a big gunslinger. I will say that. And what's the best complement to it? A super fast, the fastest wide receiver that can also catch and run good routes, or even not even deep routes, quick slants that he turns into an 80-yard touchdown. You know, like, I think that's a huge reason this offense was really explosive. But now we'll see if they need to dial it back and do more of a, I guess, like, kind of West Coast style where it's high accurate passes, you know, short yards, high accurate passes. We'll see if that can work out, or maybe they just stick with everything and they still bomb the touchdowns and stuff. I think they lose this game to the Cardinals 27-14 or 27-24. This is another game I think could go into overtime as well. But Cardinals, I think they kind of get a little bit right here. I know they're missing DeAndre Hopkins as well, but I think Murray does a lot on his legs. I think he'll kind of pick up for like what's lost on with D-Hop. Like, I think he kind of fit in a little bit. Another game that I think could go either way, but I think it might be a really good game. Next one is Packers versus Vikings, a game that I think people are thinking the Vikings are going to be like, oh, an actual competitor this year. Yeah, you still have Kirk Cousins, and yeah, that's not going to happen. Even if you guys make a wild card, you guys are going to lose somehow in the playoffs by doing something stupid, more than likely by Kirk Cousins. I mean, I like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a good guy, but when it comes to football, maybe not. Maybe he should go into broadcasting or something because he's got a good personality. But yeah, 35-21, Packers going to win. It's going to be interesting to see just how Packers operate on offense, just their receiver-wise. Obviously, Rodgers is good enough to probably put in a few touchdowns himself. You guys also have Aaron Jones that can run the ball as well. He can take over a game. So yeah, I think this is a pretty solid. I'm pretty certain with this score, honestly. Next game, Giants versus Titans. Giants, you can join the Texans and Jets in complete dumpster fire. Like, what have you guys been doing? You guys were doing good. I feel like, you know, you guys had the right formula. You guys got a running back, and then all of a sudden you got hurt and stuff. Now you guys don't even know if he's good anymore. But Titans have a running back that is actually good, and they were even like, yeah, you know what? Here's, what was it, like $5 million more just because. Thank you, I guess. I don't know. Being King Henry himself, he'll probably put in 3 touchdowns this game, 24-7. Another game that I think if you just want to watch like a running back showdown, I think that's it. But other than that, like, Giants obviously aren't going to win this game. If they do, like, Titans aren't making playoffs. Like, I mean, like, if you lose to the Giants, your season's over. Like, you should just be deleted. Anyway, next game, Raiders versus Chargers. Another, like, oh, Chargers revenge game. I'm not sold on the Chargers yet. Raiders, I think, you know, I think they're pretty much the same exact team. Like, copy paste them from last year. So, a playoff contending team. And then you add the best, I'm not getting into if he is the best or whatever, in Devontae Adams to their roster. So you already have Renfro or whatever that is already getting open and everything. Hunter Renfro, I think that's the name. I don't even know. But you have another wide receiver that's getting open on a daily basis, making incredible plays, and now you just add another guy that is like a secured catch, great player, everything like that. So now you just increase your offensive production, and you think the Chargers are gonna outmatch that. Like, Chargers to me are the same Chargers as when Phillip Rivers was there. Like, they can put up points, but they still lose in the Chargers way. Like they're literally a copy and paste team every year. Like, they don't make the playoffs, but they're good. Like, I don't get it. Like, change something. You guys obviously aren't doing anything. But I still think it's another good game. 31-28, possible overtime as well. But yeah, that's it on that. Also, I think Justin Herbert gets all 4 of those touchdowns. It's going to be, I really think it's going to be a complete shootout there. Next game, Buccaneers versus Cowboys. This is a one that I really don't like to put the Cowboys this high, like in the scoring wise, but I also know they're capable of doing it. But just like everything, I think Dak somehow loses this game for them, and Tom Brady goes ahead and just shuts up everybody, saying like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm the masked Buccaneer now, not the masked singer," and wins 35-31, possible overtime as well. But yeah, I really don't. I despise the Cowboys. I really do. But I think the biggest takeaway from this game also is how they're going to utilize Ezekiel Elliott in this game. Like, are the Cowboys going to keep him, or like what are they doing? Because you know I don't even know if he already got his big money contract yet, but I know he's probably going to be looking for it. I don't think he's shown enough yet. His first few years he was really good, and now he lost his step. He's not like the guy. Dak Prescott's obviously like the guy the Cowboys want. Do I think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback? No, but the Cowboys believe so that's why they still have him. But he's pretty much gonna be like a Matt Ryan. He might get to a Super Bowl but lose because he'll choke, because he's like, oh my god, this is amazing. But yeah, and he's probably gonna be like the highest paid quarterback probably ever, just because he's on the Cowboys too. But yeah, so the next game, Monday Night Football, the Let's Ride game, where Russell Wilson rides a Bronco to Seattle to face the Seahawks, which, like, Seahawks, I don't even know what you guys were trying to accomplish this offseason. Like, most teams are like, you know what, let's get draft capital, let's, you know, like, let's build ourselves like at least a solid team. Nah, Seahawks were like, hey, 2 captains, come here, Bobby Wagner, Russell Wilson. All right, you're out. Yeah, like, is that who okayed that? I feel like the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator were like in separate rooms, and we're like, man, we have to get rid of one of our best players, and we feel like it's you. And they didn't communicate with themselves, so they both walked out of the room, saw each other, and was like, hey, good news. Oh, let's say at the same time, we have both good news. All right, cool. We released our best player on offense / defense. And then the owner comes in and he's just like, what are you guys doing? You released our 2 best players. Like, now we will suck. And that's why they only get 10 points. Broncos, on the other hand, let's ride. I think Russell Wilson, he gives a good farewell to Seahawks, you know, fans. He tears out their heart, blows them out 27-10. I don't even think this is like a game to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if Seahawks, you know, just erase that 1 in front of their 10. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they just completely blow them out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is week 1, so like I said, a lot of these games could go either way, honestly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and also just like anything else. I know I'm reinstalling Madden, so I think I might have just like lower the the right side of the screen a little bit, and just have some like Madden gameplay up there, just for a little extra zest to the stream, you know. Just because it is live, you know, maybe we'll put like a Saints game on there or something like that, you know, just a little something to add to the stream aspect of things, you know, just a little bit. We won't be playing it, it'll just be like a simulated game, but at least we'll get like some kind of thing in the background, or like in, like, you know, the top right corner, you know, something like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and then like I said, Tuesday we'll kind of recap on some games, and also kind of see where we stand with some of these predictions. You know, we might be completely wrong, but I feel like I got a couple. I feel like I got a couple right. You know, and I think this is the first year that I think I'm gonna try going like all out on this, put my predictions in, and really see where we stand with it. I didn't really deep dive into a lot of these teams, so these were pretty much like, especially the score wise, I literally did this morning. I woke up and I was like, okay, turned on everything, sat down, and I was just like, bam, Giants Titans blowout game. But they run a lot, so they're not going to put up like massive points, 24-7. Like, it wasn't really like highly thought process. So if you guys are betting or anything, do not listen to me on that. Heads Dolphins should be a good game. Division rivals fighting for second place in AFC East. I wouldn't say fighting for second place. I mean, okay. I know I said I probably won't be reading a lot of chat, but I will kind of talk a little bit about the Rams Bills game, I guess. I don't like just watching the highlights because I was at work, so I didn't see the game. So just watching the highlights, Rams were in the game. Their offense was slow. If their offense picks up the pace, this is a shootout game at best. If not, Rams win this game. So if Rams returned with the offense they had, which I don't even know why, like, I don't really know why they were like that slow off the ball. And maybe it's because they didn't play anyone in the preseason. I don't know. But I don't think Rams are going to be that bad, first of all. And second of all, I think Bills are now going to be way overhyped. And like they still, what did they have? They had 4 turnovers, three or four. I know they had like an interception, and I know they like lost the ball twice on a fumble. Now we've seen that happen with the Chiefs as well. They just had a dominant offense to come back. So against teams that can actually score, they could be in trouble. But I'm not taking anything away. I still think they're a playoff team, Super Bowl contender. But I also think Rams are the same. Like, I really feel like they're the same team. We just got a bad showing from the Rams. Like, week 1 was a very disappointing week, I think, for Rams fans, because of the fact, like, I think everyone knows that's not who they are, and they can be better than that. But, Pat, kind of touching on what you're saying, Pats and Dolphins, if Dolphins, like I said, week 1 should be a huge thing, and I think Patriots and Dolphins game really can't, like, you'll see kind of how the seasons are going to play out for them. If Dolphins come out and they look like the next Chiefs because of Tyreek Hill added, then this team could potentially take on the Bills and win. Same with Patriots, honestly. If they maintain everything defensively, if they're sound on defense and offense, they're able to control the game, no turnovers, just able to drive down the field, take their time, whether it's getting 3 points or getting a touchdown, you're taking all that time away from the other team. We've seen it before with, against Mahomes and the Chiefs. Someone that is very good at managing the clock and has Patrick Mahomes sitting on the sideline for half the game, or over half the game, I should say. It gets to him. He wants to go out there and just chuck the ball 800 yards every game. But you will deny him from doing that, and you have a good chance of winning. The more you have the other team on the sideline and you're out there, the more you're going to win. So yeah, I think that could be a huge game as well. I think both teams do, like I said, with a 30-21 win for the Dolphins, I think we'll see a lot from both sides of it. But I think if Dolphins do put up 30 points against the Patriots, they'll probably be able to put up like 40 or something, or like I would say even like close to like 50 points against like a bad team and not give up any points. Like, that's kind of how I'm playing this as well. But like I said, it is only week 1. Those are the predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All that good stuff. If you guys are new to my channel, it means a lot if you guys did hit that subscribe button. And also in the comments, let me know what I can be doing better as well. This is the first time I've actually like not first time I've live streamed something like this, but in the for a long time, I guess. This is the first time we're doing something like this. So let me know what else I can improve on it, layout of the stream, everything like that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I will see you guys all probably Tuesday for a recap. And yeah, take